Hello coloring friends, so 2022 is coming to its end, and with me at such time when the year coming to its end, I feel like looking back, like analyzing what I have done during the year, how much I have colored, how much I have not colored. And besides, this year it's been 6 years since I have started coloring, since I've got hooked with coloring, and so I thought it would be nice to summarize all my work during these years, to see all my completed works, to see my progress, to see my illustrations, uh, from what I have started from to what I have come to, and to share this experience with you. I hope it will be interesting for you too, to see my progress, to see my works. I will mix my illustrations, showing some my first works, and then mixing with the later works, not for you not to get bored, to look only at simple illustrations. And I will start with my very first coloring books. One of them is this one, The Art of Mindfulness, Relaxed and Focused Coloring. I've got this book in London. Actually, my all first coloring books are from the UK. I was there at the time, and so I stumbled upon these coloring books and decided to try it, and was really hooked. And at first I colored mostly in this type of books. In this book you can see not only my first works, but later sometimes I come back to this book. I feel like coloring something like this, simple, just indeed mindfulness coloring, using fine liners or markers. And also in this book, as you can see, very simple illustrations. I tried different art materials when I've got them. There's quite a lot of illustrations in this book. Some are like more, some less. And I remember I didn't know anything about coloring, how to mix colors, how to do shading, and I found videos by Peter Hewitt on YouTube and was inspired, and was learning how to use different techniques. It was very exciting at the time, something new, and I liked coloring in my childhood, but of course nobody showed me any techniques or what and how to do. I colored in a simple childish way, and of course when I started coloring 6 years ago, yeah, at first I colored the same way, kind of. Even some pages colored with pencils only, like this one. As you can see, quite a lot of completed pages in this book. But I have always liked bright colors. Even you can see that in my first pages, completed pages, there are a lot of brightness and contrast. I think I will keep coming back to this book from time to time. As I said, sometimes I feel like coloring something that's simple and relaxing. Another book, Cat Therapy, Yanina Mironova, very doodly type of illustrations. There were a lot of books of this type at the time. I think nowadays less books are like this, as you can see, very doodly. And at the time, whenever I saw a book with cats, I wanted to buy it. And now I'm more picky. This illustration, again, I used fine liners and markers here. This one more later work, so you can see a bit difference. I haven't colored in this one for a long time. Another one of my very first coloring books, Cats. It got like this, lost its cover. Again, a lot of bright colors. What I didn't like at the time, that the pages, illustrations are on both sides of the paper, and there are a lot of small details that you need to use fine liners, and then those fine liners, they bleed through, and I remember I was so much disappointed and tried to use pencils and dry pastel here, but it's not possible with tiny details. This was my very first completed page. So you can see a lot of colors and mixture. I don't color in this book nowadays, but it's nice to keep it as memory, and maybe someday I would feel like coloring something else on it. Who knows? Here I use gel pens, I remember. There is some sparkle left. Again, color pencils. And another bright picture. Now let's have a look at my spiral and coloring books. This one, Serena by Mardel Rubio. There are a few completed pages in this book that I completed at different time. This one was one of the first in this book. I used aqua markers, I remember, still looking bright, no fading, as I can see, because some people they say that aqua markers, they fade, the colors fades away after some time, but this one is still rather bright. Then the paper is rather thick in this book. This must be, yeah. There was another illustration that I completed in this book, and I like how I did pearls here. I even had a video about how I was coloring these pearls. And then another of my earlier works, this one. And the last one, no, not this one. This one also one of earlier works. And after a big gap, I would say, I have colored this one, and you already can see the difference with those pictures. There's some progress noticeable, and I really love this illustration even now. How her skin turned out, very unusual color, but that's what I like. To make skin or hair in not typical colors. Besides, it's a mermaid. She can be whatever color we want her to be. So I believe that's all in this book. Yes. Another book by Mardel Rubio, Biringa. But here I have only one completed page. Very nice illustrations in this book. And I really love his style, very original, unusual. And that's what I have colored in this book, this fairy, I believe. Can't say that I'm super happy about the result. Something that bothers me, maybe background, I'm not sure, but I've got what I've got. I love color combination here. Yeah, but yeah, something about the background that I'm not quite pleased. Another spiral book, Fantasia by Nicholas Chandra-Vienata. I've got it a couple of years ago, I believe. There are a few completed pages. Let me start from the back, it's more comfortable. And at first I thought I'll be coloring the simplest illustrations, the most boring ones, and I thought I would finish those, and then I will start coloring more interesting pictures. That's why you will see illustrations of this type that I colored here. Another one with roses. There is some sparkle, if you can see. Then this one, later illustration, more complicated, more interesting, and I love this is those, I believe. I use markers here and then colored pencils. I really love how this guy turned out. Again, you can see a difference from between these illustrations and this more later one. Then what? Cinderella. This one I like, how her dress looks. I tried to imitate some sparkle on her dress. Actually, those were white spots, but now they became bluish, especially on darker parts, but still looks nice, I believe. Another more recent work, this magician guy, a metallic watercolor here I used, and stickers here. There was a lot of stuff going on here, some doodly stuff, and I covered that with gouache, I believe I used, or maybe acrylic, and then I added this writing, Sim Salabim. I like this one. What next do we have here? I'm sorry I didn't bookmark my works, but it would have taken a lot of time, so I thought I would look through with you. When the first edition appeared of this book, and I was still not that confident in myself, and I thought, so beautiful illustrations, but I'm not good, how I would be able to color in this book. But then later I decided to buy it, but it's actually a third edition. I have another one, this Easter bunny. Actually it's chocolate bunny and Easter eggs. I love the bunny. It really looks a chocolate one. And then one more illustration here. Yeah, this card, rather simple, used markers only here. Actually nothing special, but completed page. And that's it in this book. Next one, The Star Rain by Polina Guskova. And I have a few completed pages here. Nice illustrations in this book. This is my Galaxy Madonna, I call her, done with color pencils and a little bit of gel pen. Still like her, especially how her face turned out, kind of shining, and really love the colors. And then another one, this one was the first one, and on this unicorn I used, I remember, how you call this pink color, can't remember. I'm blank. Again, a lot of bright colors, but that's what I love. Neon, oh gosh, finally I got it. Neon pink I used for the unicorn. This one also like it. This girl, she has a little bit different hair, but I decided to change it a little bit and made it and another one, another galaxy girl, but this one I like less. I like the star, the universe part, but the girl, it's okayish, not like super interesting. Yeah, that's it. Next one, Anastasia Elly Koldareva, Mysteria. Of course, there are more recent works in this book, because such book requires some experience already in coloring, and I've got it when I was more confident in myself that I would be able to color in a nice way, not to ruin. I believe there are 2 illustrations in this book, and why I can't see any. Yeah, the first one is this one. Again, as you can see, this girl has green hair and a lot of butterflies, but it was really interesting to try and color them differently and more or less in realistic way. As you can see, some do look realistic, others may be less realistic, but I like the whole result. Again, everything with color pencils. And another one, this one, I believe I have colored in 2022, this one. I don't know whether you can see difference and progress, but I do see more neat skin coloring, I would say. Again, I do love the result, especially this sparkle on the water. I wanted to add something, and at first I colored her hair in different color, kind of like blondie, and I didn't like it. And when I changed it to this like purple color, then I thought, yeah, that's it. Now I'm happy with the result. Again, everything with color pencils. Another book by Anastasia, Nocturnes. I believe there are 2 completed pages in this book as well. One more recent and one, yeah. The first one I colored was this one, Marie Antoinette. I love how her hair turned out. I wanted this color like it was popular at the time of Marie Antoinette. And her dress, roses and everything again with color pencils. I remember this background took me, well, quite a lot of time. Everything by hand with pencil. Oh. And another illustration more recent. This vampire girl, kind of. I added moon here. I think there was no moon on this picture. I added myself, and as you can see, bats are in no typical color. I wanted them to be in red, and again background as well done with pencils. I love this picture too. And another coloring book by Anastasia, Blackbird song. This book I've got in 2022, a very recent book, and only 1 completed page here, but I do love how it turned out. This girl with unusual headdress in shell form, shell type, and I was inspired by shell, some shells. Now I won't remember its name now, but it has like this shiny, colorful surface, and so I was inspired by that and decided to make her headdress in kind of same way, and though of course it's more bright than the original shell, the real shell, but that's what I wanted. I was just inspired by that, but wanted it in bright colors. And I love how the skin turned out, and even this earring. I love these small details. And background I decided to make black, of course, to make more contrast between this bright headdress and the background. And another spiral book is this one, Ethno Spirit by Katerina Bobarikina. And I have two completed pages here. This one was the first one, this geisha girl, and here I tried to use watercolor on the background. As you can see, not perfect gradient, but it looks okay, I think, especially considering that I'm not good at all with watercolors and try sometimes only. The rest is done with pencils. I love her skin because she's geisha, and they used to make their faces very pale white, and I tried to achieve that effect. And her fan as well I like, and hair. So in the whole it's nice illustration. And another one I did later after some gap in coloring this book, and this one I really like, one of my favorite illustrations. I forgot the name of the nation, ancient people. No, I don't remember. Okay, doesn't matter. So I love her skin, and here I added these mosaics because I read about that civilization and they liked to decorate their houses with mosaics, so I decided to add it here. And then I added that landscape through the window. Again, it took me quite some time to draw that, but at the end I'm quite happy with the result. And all the colors and all the atmosphere, I really love it. So as I've told, one of my favorite illustrations so far among all my completed pictures, and I love how her hand turned out. So you can see, very realistic. I surprised myself even. And now a few more simple illustrations. These are again one of my first coloring books, Forest of Serenity by Poppy Appleby. Again, very thin paper and illustrations on both sides of the page, and so you can't use markers or fine liners. Everything bleeds through. So then I decided, whatever, I will color one side and the other side would be ruined. But what to do? So this was one of my first illustrations here, and I really don't like the color of background. I don't know why I decided to choose this color. Still a mystery for me. Then what I have here else, I do come back to these books from time to time. Yeah, this one more recent illustration. I feel like coloring mandala or some patterns. As you can see, this page is ruined. So when I look at the page, I compare two illustrations and which one I like better, then I decide to color that one. That's it. Two only illustrations in this book. So little. Another book by same artist, the same edition, The Secret Lagoon. I think I have more than two in this one. This dragonfly again, this one more recent illustration. Then this lacy mandala. Yeah, this was one of my first pictures in this book, and I decided to use watercolor on such paper. But actually watercolor almost didn't bleed through, and the paper just little bit changed its shape, but not much. But still, of course, this paper you can't use watercolor. You can, but it's very hard, and you won't be able to achieve some interesting effects just to cover. That's what I did here. But that was interesting, and it's interesting to remember that time, how I tried different things, and I did know nothing about paper, where you can use some materials, which is better to use on which paper. It all comes with experience, with time. Another one by same artist, Poppy Appleby, Enchanted Dreams. This mandala done with markers, I believe. This one more recent, again very lacy, in not bright colors, not typical for me, but sometimes I do feel like coloring in something in pastel colors. Actually looks nice, I love it. Then more recent one, again a lacy mandala in one of my favorite color combinations. And what else? Another, this one was one of my first pages, black and red colors, and very recent for my challenge finding color, it was coloring feathers. Very simple, but yeah, very relaxing. Another one, unicorn. Another one, another mandala. And that's it. And I think that's all for today. I will continue sharing with you my all completed pages. See you soon. And for today, that's all. See you next time. Bye.